Hello, everybody. I am Yolanda Marie. I have a message for you today from the Arcturians and my guides, and it is very much related to why I haven't had messages for a few days for you. We are going through a lot of subtle shifts and transitions. And so I finally transitioned back to Florida from Wisconsin. A lot of you guys know that. And yeah, we are being guided and shifted in ways that are causing us to maneuver or needing to maneuver much differently throughout 3D. Like if we are surrounded by or affected by more dense frequencies, okay? Or a denser, heavier environment. All of that stuff is shifting. And so many of you know that and are already feeling this. But if you are not aware why maybe certain things that were not a struggle before are now a struggle or are presenting themselves in different ways, it is because you are likely being shifted. Now, this is not actually the message that the Arcturians are giving for today, but that is something that needs to be talked about and is coming up right now, okay? So yeah, some definite cementing is the word that's coming through. There is definitely some cementing of things going on in terms of what you will or will not be dealing with in certain ways involving denser energies. Okay, and so if you were kind of curious about if that's what was going on with you, this may be a confirmation for you that you have hit yet another baseline, okay, and not a lower one, a higher one. And yeah, so the shifts continue, guys. We're in this. So let's get to this message from the Arcturians. I've got my handy notes as always, guys. And they are saying to us, I'm quoting them, you can create above and beyond the frequency of what is going on around you. And that's why I said it's related to to the delay in messages getting to you, okay, for the last few days. All right. They're saying you definitely can create above and beyond this. They're saying try not to focus in on systems that you do not wish to recreate. So many of you are understanding this now. So many people around you are understanding this now on a deeper level. But some of you will hear this, and this is not a judgment. This is natural. You may naturally think, well, I don't want to look away or turn a blind eye to the things that are not correct, proper, heart connected. I don't want to turn a blind eye to suffering and pain, things that are still going on that we have believed should have shifted by now, or we should see more progress, let's say, okay? And this is coming from I'm pulling words from the collective right now. These are a lot of the feelings going on right now, okay? And they are extremely natural. What's happening is we are in this transition to a place where we are effortlessly able to, and we're going to use this phrase, walk and chew gum at the same time. We've used this phrase before, but it doesn't feel natural yet. We think in order to focus in one direction, we have to turn a blind eye completely to the other. And that's not what's being said. There is the knowing, okay, intense knowing, in fact, of what has gone on and appears to still be going on, okay? As well as the focus into the creation of the new. And this is what they're going to talk about today, okay? They're saying many are not realizing that they can create above this frequency spectrum into the new. This is a frequency bandwidth spectrum that's going on, both that we are in and we're moving into, okay? And it's a gradual shift. The word spectrum is used to indicate an array of frequencies, okay? And as it shifts, some of the lower end of that array of frequencies are shifting with you, okay? Or you're pulling some of that in, but not all of it. There's always dropping off of the lower frequencies. So I'm trying to paint a picture here. of just this shift, but it's very subtle and it's very gradual. But as gradual as this shift is, what we are doing here has not been seen before in terms of the rate of evolution. That needs to be said. Okay, and there's coming through right now, there is much to be commended about the journey that you are on. Please acknowledge this within yourself, within your bones, within your DNA. Is the knowledge that you seek, allow it to come forth. Those are the Arcturians, okay? So just as you're listening to any of these messages, just remember that you, even if you don't understand everything mentally just yet, and we talked about this last time, you will understand it on a DNA level, especially, or I should say more so, it will streamline the process and quantum leap this process for you if you consciously give yourself permission. It's happening anyway, and we are going to talk about some more automatic processes that are happening anyway, right? But if you consciously aid this by giving permission, it is that much more streamlined for you. You can give yourself permission to have this integrate very quickly into your field, and also connect your heart to your mind so that then it can come into your mental processing and you can use it daily in a more conscious way. And that's what they're talking about, okay? And so what they're saying is literally creating above the general, and they're talking about the general frequency spectrum of people who are in general unawake. There are some unawakened people who are very high frequency, but they are not yet aware of certain facts, certain things that have happened, okay? And so they're not aware of everything you and I are aware of, but they may be very high frequency. But in general, what we're leaving behind is much, much denser than where you are now. And many of you may not realize how high frequency you actually are in comparison to things you are around, to the job that you are working in, to family members, all of that, okay? The neighborhood you live in, just the general environment. You are probably much higher frequency. In fact, they're saying you are. If you've reached this video, you most certainly are much more high frequency than that. Okay? And so they're saying what's happening is literally your body and field are already doing this creating automatically. They're saying you are writing new equations through your experiencing. This is an automated process. Okay, this is happening. And so they're saying the frequencies are new because of the fact that you are residing at such a higher baseline frequency than most humans in this reality right now. And so when you focus back down into the previous spectrum, you are also still creating, right? So you are then creating within that frequency. And see, right there is the entire reason for the gradual shift into the what we're going to call walking and chewing gum. Knowing and realizing what has occurred, because that's very important so that we do not repeat the same mistakes collectively, right? So it is very important to understand what has occurred and the imprinting that is still reflecting itself to us as it shifts out of that, because that is also what is occurring, okay? It is occurring. Please know the shift is occurring, has occurred, and will occur. It is always this way. This is law. There is always going to be an echo. It is going to gradually shift into something new. Now, the rate at which it occurs is what will shift. This is becoming more and more quick, fast, expedient, and all of that, okay? And we know this, we feel this in our bodies, and that is part of the impatience, okay? And that's all right. That is natural, but that is what is occurring. So they're saying, again, if you focus back down too long into the previous, and they're talking about a frequency spectrum, okay? They're talking right now about frequencies, density, in terms of the array of dense mental imprinting, prior baseline frequencies, prior conditioning, really. Okay, there's a field of that that is being purged, healed, and that is going to take some time. If you stay down where that is doing its clearing and purging, but you join it rather than help to clear it from where you are, you're creating from that standpoint, from that bandwidth. This isn't a judgment. This is natural. We are all learning this. We are all learning this. This is not a judgment at all. In fact, I think they move on to say that this is not wrong necessarily, but it could be, and what they actually call it is an annoying detour from the higher perspective plan of newness, your higher perspective plan of newness. They say what it's going to feel like is it's going to feel like moving from very bright, high definition Technicolor. Okay. And not only that, but this Technicolor that we're moving into creating, building, and actually, this is not the first Technicolor experience. Many, many thousands of years ago, humans were able to acknowledge, experience, receive, feel, and create like this. And then that is what has been kept from us. That is what was hidden. That is what was programmed, conditioned, and trained out of us. And that is what now we are re-entering into. We are able to reintegrate it as the false conditioning and false programming is falling away. Okay. And if you are in this stream of focus, in this frequency bandwidth, okay, where you were able to run into this video, you're somewhere where you don't need to fall all the way back down into this previous frequency bandwidth in order to contribute to the healing of that. Okay. All right. This is what's coming through now, because they're saying it's going to feel like you're moving from that bright, high definition Technicolor, okay, as an example, okay, all the way back down to what would be the equivalent of like a projector screen, like a reel-to-reel type movie, like a black and white movie, right? They are speaking in terms of what this will feel like, what this feels like. And one of the reasons that we are speaking to you in this way, these are the Arcturians, is because we wish for you to understand the vast nature of what you are creating and how brilliant it really is. And so we wish for you to continue in this way, as this is what you wish for yourselves. It is brilliant and amazing to watch. We are the Arcturian Council. We love you. End transmission. And so they just wanted to come through and say that to let us know exactly the magnitude of what it is that we are doing and why it feels so different. And also that when we are allowing ourselves to sit in the observance as of now, okay, like the fine-tuned, focused observance of the lower frequency bandwidth, we are creating from that point if we're not careful. You got to be able to understand that happened, but focus into the new creation at the same time, because now is the transition period. There's a lot of muck inside of that transition. It can be very confusing if you do not remember the power that you are and all that you have accomplished and how much you have grown, expanded, how far you have come. Okay, I hope all of that makes sense. Beautiful brothers and sisters, soul family, I love you so much. I've got a lot of messages for you. I'll be back. Love you, love you, love you, love you, and see you very soon. Okay, take care of yourselves and your bodies, and remember to listen to your guidance. I just wanted to say that. Love you so much, my friends. Namaste.